Come, have a nice day. Today is Thursday, 28th of November 2024. This day is celebrated as the Constitution Day, also known as Samvidhan Divas in India. It is a significant day in India as it marks the adoption of the country's constitution, which is the supreme law of the land. So, starting the newspaper with the world news, including President Biden to provide $725 million weapons aid package for Ukraine report. Donald Trump may ban mainstream media journalists from White House briefing, claims son Trump Jr. Hezbollah vows to continue resistance and support for Palestinians after a ceasefire with Israel. Trump picks Kellogg to serve as special envoy to Ukraine and Russia. Iran welcomes ceasefire in Lebanon, reserves right to react to Israeli airstrike. Several Trump cabinet picks targeted with bomb threats, sweating campaign spokesperson. From the Hindu newspaper, we have some brief discussion. Canada is already examining tariffs on certain United States items following Trump's tariff threat. United States President-elect Donald Trump left the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. In Canada, a government official said Canada is preparing for every eventuality and has started thinking about what items to target with the tariffs in the retaliation. Canada is already examining possible retaliatory tariffs on certain items from the United States should President-elect Donald Trump follow through on his threat to impose sweeping tariffs on Canadian products, a senior official said Wednesday, November 27, 2024. Mr. Trump has threatened to impose the tariffs on the products from Canada and Mexico if the countries don't stop what he called the flow of drugs and migrants across the southern and northern borders. He said he would impose a 25% tax on all the products entering the United States from Canada and Mexico as one of his first executive orders. Russian acts of sabotage may lead to North Atlantic Treaty Organization NATO invoking Article 5, says German intel chief, Russian President Vladimir Putin. The extensive use of hybrid measures by Russia increases the risk that NATO will eventually consider invoking its Article 5, Mutual Defense Clause, say Bundesnetzagentur Chief Bruno Kell. Sorry, it is a very large name. Russia's act of sabotage against Western targets may eventually prompt NATO to consider invoking the alliance's Article 5 mutual defense clauses. The head of the Germany's Foreign Intelligence Service said on Wednesday, November 28, 2024, that's today speaking at the event of the DGAP think tank in the Berlin. Chief Bruno Kell said he expected Moscow to further step up its hybrid warfare. Lebanon's Hezbollah vows to continue resistance after ceasefire. Men carry a Hezbollah flags and a picture depicting the late Hezbollah leader Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah as they drive past damaged buildings at the entrance of the Beirut southern suburbs after a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah took place. In the first statement by Hezbollah's Operation Center since the deal was announced, the group made no direct mention of the ceasefire deal. Lebanon's Hezbollah on Wednesday, November 27, 2024, vowed to continue its resistance and support Palestinians, including fighters, a day after a ceasefire deal between the group and Israel was announced. In the first statement by Hezbollah's Operation Center since the deal was announced, the group made no direct mention of the ceasefire deal. The Islamic Resistance's operations room affirms that its fighters in all military disciplines will remain fully equipped to deal with the aspirations and assaults of the Israeli enemy, the group said. Going to the Hindustan Times newspaper stated that Indian Army to open Kargil Galwan battlefields for the border tourism. Chief of Army General Upendra Dwivedi delivers General B.C. Joshi Memorial Lecture 2024 at Savitribai Phule Pune University in Pune Wednesday. He said the Indian Army has successfully transformed the theme of terrorism to tourism. in Jammu and Kashmir. Pune, Chief of the Army Staff (COAS) General Upendra Dwivedi Wednesday said that in Jammu and Kashmir, the Indian Army has successfully transformed the theme of terrorism to tourism. As we dig deeper into our past amalgamation of over 600 plus princely states, the military played a pivotal role for integration and amalgamation, including Hyderabad and Goa, he said. Also, the Indian Army is opening the battlefields, including Kargil and Galwan, for tourists to get a first-hand experience of such battlefields and empathize with soldiers who lay down their lives for the country. The Army Adventure Wing provides one-window security clearance and coordination for such adventure initiatives, and during the last few years, about 42 trips were closed, he said. The Chief of Army Staff emphasized the role of the Indian Army in enhancing India's global strategic plans, participating in United Nations peacekeeping missions, and expanding its defense diplomacy efforts for the defense wings worldwide. From the state news also, in the Jharkhand, Hemant Soren to take oath as Jharkhand's 14th Chief Minister today. Several key leaders to attend the event. Hemant Soren will take oath as the 14th Chief Minister of Jharkhand at Morabdi Crown on Thursday, November 28. This term will be Hemant Soren's fourth stint as Chief Minister. Now, going towards the economy of the country from the business point of view, FPI is for Rs 11,113 crore into Indian stock market in the 3 days after Rs 1.55 lakh crore sale of since October month. Sensex has rallied 3.98% since November 21 and gained 230 points on Wednesday. On the other hand, domestic institutional investors sold stocks worth Rs 7,516 crore in the last 3 days. Hyundai, M&M, 6 others likely to face emissions penalties of Rs 7,300 crore. Penalty of Korean car maker Hyundai is the highest, totaling over Rs 2,800 crore, followed by the Mahindra nearly 1,800 crore and Kia over Rs 1,300 crore. Car makers are learned to have argued that the stricter penalty norms came into effect only from January 1st, 2023, and therefore calculating penalties on the basis of the cars sold in the entire financial year would not be appropriate. Now from Science and Tech, we have the 2 cubs born in the African cheetah Nirva found dead at Kono National Park. Mutilated carcasses recovered. Female cheetah Gamini with its newly born cubs at Kono National Park in Shirpur, Madhya Pradesh. Samples sent for the examination to ascertain the cause of their death, says forest official. 2 cubs born to African cheetah Nirva were found dead at the Kono National Park and in the Shirpur district of Madhya Pradesh on Wednesday, November 27, 2024. An official said a team of forest staffers monitoring the movement of cheetahs received the signals through the radio telemetry that Nirva was away from her death, following which they along with veterinarians rushed to the spot and found the mutilated carcasses of the 2 cubs inside, he said. New Mori superconductor opened the door to new quantum material. As this example of screen printing shows, a Mori pattern emerges when 2 layers, one with red circles and one with black circles, are overlaid, and one layer is twisted by a small angle. In a study in Nature, scientists report that Mori materials made from semiconductor materials can also be superconducting, paving the way for materials with unusual properties. Scientists are constantly engineering new materials that exhibit exotic properties. Mori materials are deceptively simple. Take a material made of a single type of atom, like a block of a graphite, slice off the thin layer from the top so that you have a 2-dimensional sheet of carbon atoms bound together. A graphene, place one sheet on the top of another, finally twist the top sheet by the small angle. Google asks United States Appeals Court to reject App Store monopoly verdict. Alphabet's Google asked a United States Appeal Court to throw out a jury verdict and judge's order, forcing it to revamp its App Store. In the first detailed argument to the San Francisco-based Ninth United States Circuit Court of Appeals, Google said the trial judge made legal errors that unfairly benefited the plaintiff. Fortnite maker Epic Games. Alphabet's Google asked the United States Appeal Court on Wednesday, November 27, 2024, to throw out a jury verdict and a judge's order, forcing it to revamp its application store play. In its first detailed argument to the San Francisco-based Ninth United States Circuit Court of Appeals, Google said the trial judge made legal errors that unfairly benefited the plaintiff. Fortnite maker Epic Games, requiring a dramatic redesign of Google Play and its mobile device operating system Android, will hurt app developers and consumers, Google said in its court filing. Aid needed to meet the costs of the controlling plastics. India rate pickers look for a reusable material at a garbage dump filled with plastic and other waste material on the outskirts of the Jammu, India, April 22, 2024. No consensus yet at talks for the global plastic treaty, aiming to control and eliminate plastic waste to reduce plastic production. India emphasized tech transfers multilateral fund to support a just transition. Developing countries will only comply with the control measures on plastic if they are compensated for the cost they entail, India said in a proposal at the Global Plastic Treaty negotiation on Wednesday, November 27, 2024. This is India's first substantial move during the talks being held at the South Korean city of Busan. Echoing a principle from climate change negotiations, India has also emphasized that there must be a transfer of technologies from developed to developing nations that must respect national circumstances. Exactly what these control measures and costs are not or has not been specified yet. They are among a plethora of crucial undefined terms. In fact, there is still no accurate definition for the word plastic as far as the treaty is concerned. These and many other concepts are at the heart of the negotiations involving around 170 countries. At last, there is a famous personality, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, who was a prominent Indian independence activist, writer, and a senior leader of the Indian National Congress. Here is the summary of his life and his contributions. His early life and education. Born on November 11, 1888 in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. His real name was Sayyid Ghulam Mahidin Ahmad bin Khairuddin al-Hassani, but he became known as Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. Received the Islamic education from his father and other scholars. Attended Al-Azhar University in Cairo, Egypt. From the activism and journalism point of view, he returned to India and became involved in the Indian independence movement. Founded the Urdu newspaper Al-Hilal in 1912. He was critical of the British colonial rule and promoted Indian nationalism. Imprisoned by the British authorities for his political activities, became a close associate of Mahatma Gandhi and other prominent leaders of the Indian National Congress. His political career: served as the president of the Indian National Congress twice, in 1923 and in 1940. Played a crucial role in drafting the Indian Constitution, strongly opposed the partition of India. From the post-independence point of view, appointed as the first Minister of Education in the independent India, established the University Grants Commission and other educational institutions, promoted secularism and national integration for education. From the legacy point of view, considered one of the greatest Indian Muslim and a symbol of a Hindu-Muslim unity, his birthday 11th November is celebrated as National Education Day in India. His contribution to India's freedom struggle and education are widely recognized. So the key points become the strong advocate for Indian independence and unity, prominent figure in the Indian National Congress, first education minister of independent India, championed secularism and national integration. His legacy continues to inspire generations. Some additional information is that he was a prolific writer, and published numerous books on Islamic theology, history, and politics. He was a strong advocate for women's education and empowerment. He was awarded the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian honor, posthumously in 1992. Maulana Abul Kalam Azad says a very famous quotation. He says that education imparted by heart can bring revolution in the society. Okay, thank you.